In recent years, Indians have been told that journalism does not serve any public purpose. In India, the mainstream media has been increasingly repurposed to serve the interests of the rich and powerful, which is contrary to the essence of journalism. 2 years ago, Sumit Chaturvedi and I, Vasundhara Sirnate, began a journey to understand how and why Indian journalism began capitulating to state power. What we had learned in our careers as journalists was now at odds with what we saw around us. Journalists peddling misinformation as fact, virulent hate as accepted political opinion, and partisan debate as fair argument. As we tried to understand some of these developments, we found ourselves looking at a time when there were no news anchors, no social media, no digital technologies, and no printed newspapers. In this world of silence, in the late 1700s, when scribes wrote news reports in coded scripts and information was carried on foot, we found the beginning of a remarkable story. A story about the origins of journalism and the transformation of an entire information ecosystem in India.
As we delve deeper into this institutional history of journalism, the power of information and information bearers became even more striking. We learned that information was once quite literally carried on the backs of the hard-working Harkaras of Mughal India and was officially scribed by incident recorders called the Vakaidavis. Subsequently, information was also used as a weapon to challenge the might of the East India Company by self-interested persons like William Bolts. And when India's first newspaper, Hickey's Bengal Gazette, was started by an Irishman called James Augustus Hickey, India finally entered the era of modern journalism, when information truly became people's power. People came to appreciate that where the press is free, the people are free. Where the press is oppressed, the people are oppressed. And when the press is gone, the people are no longer protected. There were several other journalists who came after Hickey, like William Duane and James Silk Buckingham, who carried his legacy forward. They were often flawed, being products of their time and colonial implants. But what they shared was an unassailable belief that information should be democratized, speech should be free, and power must be held accountable. We also learned about how the East India Company imposed informal and formal versions of censorship on them and managed to disrupt the lives of these courageous journalists in some instances and completely destroy them in others.
Who fought for press freedom when it wasn't even a well-developed concept? Who stared down authority figures in the colonial government? How did early newspapers face sanctions and ruin when the colonial government cracked down on them? What made some of these men keep going? What did they believe with such conviction that even today students of journalism learn from their examples? In this season of Reality Scribes, we bring you the story of the origins of Indian journalism in the late 1700s, straight from the crucible of colonialism in India. You can listen to Reality Scribes on iTunes, Spotify, YouTube, and wherever else you get your podcasts.